Should be an interesting one. I feel this is going to be another game fiver.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that starts with confidence. And I think that can be hard to have in a tournament environment when there's a lot on the line, there's a lot of pressure. But I feel like Joro, AXB, and Ralph, I think they're showing that confidence with how much pressure they're able to apply, how forward they're playing. A lot of things coming together nicely for them. But almost a really quick goal here as we get underway with game one of this best of 5. It is the dudes going up against Allegiance. Joro, AXB, and Ralph on the dudes. Illusion, TY, and Seabass on Allegiance. And for now, back and forth to start things off. Both teams have had an opportunity to score, and we'll see who comes out of the gates stronger. TY floating it up to the sky there over on the backboard. Joro doing some nice things on defense, but Illusion is there, a 50-50 challenge against Ralph, but Joro there to sweep things up and clear it across the field towards the orange side. Seabass up in the corner, pitching it all over towards the blue goal, but AXB there on defense. So a little bit of a ping pong here. Both these teams having some decent opportunities, but just trying to get it onto their opponent's side. No real favorite so far, I don't think.
No, expect that in pretty much every game one up till about halftime. These guys just trying to, as we say, send out the feelers, figure out how the team's going to play, what kind of aggression are they going to apply. Just kind of play a really subtle game of back and forth. But eventually, stuff like that from Illusion is a good way to change it up by slowing it down and going underneath defenders. But immediately reciprocated by AXB in a quick 1-2. Well played and good patience.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So AXB kind of sprinting towards it, realizing he had a little bit of time and able to throw the fakie. And more importantly there, Ralph having confidence in AXB there. He could have been rotating back to play safely, but he felt like AXB would get control of that, and he was right. AXB doing a great job passing it over to Ralph. Ralph with a nice, simple shot to put it in the back of the net. And the dudes with an early lead here, it's got to feel good for them. And you talk about momentum coming off a win in that game 5. More recently, perhaps, than Illusion had that sweep going. The dudes coming out of the gate really nicely here. As, we have about 2 minutes down in this first game. And a 1-0 advantage for the dudes.
Yeah, they're hungry for that rematch against Equinox. But as you said, Allegiance trying to work off their own momentum, 3-0 in their last series. As the ball back and forth, it's going to be settled by Seabass and immediately contested by Joro. Trying to continue what worked so well for them last game. A ton of pressure. But 2 players sitting back, just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for this ball to go. Joro's going to go up and contest it. It pinches over to the left. As both players miss, Ralph behind, able to pass it up to Joro, but Seabass able to get to it first. There's another couple seconds pass by, still back and forth, but we're starting to see the dudes that we saw last series. Sitting about that midfield, waiting for opportunities with the pressure. Just a much slower pace this time.
Whew, I almost think Ralph, you can score that. I feel like that's a great scoring opportunity there, but I think you nailed it there. The dudes really showing a lot of pressure in the past 30, 45 seconds, really keeping it on that orange side. But now Allegiance coming the other way. TY off the backboard over to Seabass.
It's Ty.
And Ty. Did you know there's a TY in StarCraft?
Mm-hmm.
So forgive me.
I know that's the
slight. The brain has to kind of process that one step further.
Yeah, it's Ty, not Tyler, but he's like, yeah, we'll just go as Ty. It's a little bit easier.
But yeah, the pressure from the dudes, it's been there. It's been there in this game. They're showing it, and they're doing it again. AXB from the heavens, trying to make that go in, and actually almost got the angle there into the goal. So it's actually up to Allegiance here to play some really good defense. I wonder if they're freaked out a little bit. Like, wait a second, these guys are pretty good.
Well played, though, by Seabass there. Slowing it down, doesn't have any boost, so he forces the other team to make a challenge rather than giving it away for free. This ball centered into the midfield. Seabass going to be there first, playing it into the zone of this dude's defense. It's really fun to say.
The dude's defense. All right. Allegiance bringing it back towards the blue side. Illusion is there, but Ralph, some nice defense, bringing it back over to the orange side. Ty, not Tyler, launching it towards the goal. Illusion trying to get a chip overdue, probably over to Seabass, but not able to convert anything there. Back to the orange side, Ralph in the midfield. The dude's doing a great job. I mean, they have been having a good presence in that midfield, preventing that ball from crossing that midline, getting a decent shot towards the goal. There's Seabass flying across the goal there to get a defense onto that goal, but the pressure from the dudes right now is relentless. Just keeping it on that orange side. 30 seconds to go. Not a lot of time to work with here from Allegiance to bring this back.
Big clear coming up from the dudes, trying to make this lead even more detrimental. There's only about 10 seconds left on the clock. Ralph with a shot. He's going to go backward. Can he get the double touch? No, not enough boost to stay elevated. Lucian downfield trying to set up an opportunity for his team. Joro playing it smart, recognizes there's only a couple seconds left and delays that hit where there's a waiting defender, but still in a dangerous position. It's going to drop all the way down, and dudes are going to take game number 1.
Wow. Okay. The dudes picking up where they left off from that series against Rogue. Let's see. Shot differential actually in favor of Allegiance. 6 shots to 4 in favor of Allegiance. Seabass at the top of the leaderboard there for that Allegiance squad, but just not able to convert those into goals. And that has a lot to do with just the saves we're seeing from the dudes. That's 5 total saves from them. AXB there with 3 saves on his own. So just super solid play all around from the dudes. And ultimately, really just keeping that pressure up. And that's what we're seeing. Able to get control of that ball, able to control that momentum, and keep it on the opponent's half. And I think it's on Allegiance now to kind of figure out a way to break out of, what the dudes have been pouring onto them. Get those short passes going on in the backfield and start applying the pressure the other way and just start pummeling more on those shots. I know they had 6 shots that time, but just not able to convert those goals. Again, just 1 goal difference in that game.
I mean, the stats really tell the story in that one. I mean, the dudes, we talked about all their pressure, but I mentioned in the game about how it's definitely slowed down. They're playing a little bit more composed. It doesn't feel like they were pressured in any way, and they're just able to put clean shots on and play their game. As for Allegiance, it seemed like that's what they wanted to do themselves. It's just the dudes did it a little bit better in that one opportunity where you're starting to see the guys at the midfield where they are slowing it down. They're going for dribbles. They're trying to make fakes and stuff happen, but they got beat at their own game. So we'll see if they pick up the pace here in game number 2. As we get it underway, the dude's already back on offense.
Yeah, sending it towards that orange half. I think Joro is doing some fancy stuff to try to keep that play alive, and now Allegiance going the other way. Ty trying to hit it towards the middle. Joro is there on defense, but Aleutian waiting in the sweeping position, trying to loft it back towards the middle. AXB able to push it the other way. He's going to follow that up. Nice challenge onto Seabass, and a nice bump there onto Ty, but Seabass able to regain control, trying to push it back towards the middle. Lucian almost able to get a shot on that. And we're still back and forth here. Joro turning around, getting a pass from Ralph, trying to send it back to the middle. Decent opportunity here, but Seabass there on defense. Over to Ty. He's going to pass it over to the middle. AXB in the right place at the right time once again, but Seabass holding. And still back and forth, but the dudes applying a fair amount of pressure to start things off.
Just doing a good job of seeing each other with these passes. Another one there. Illusion trying to go for the air dribble. Gets a dunk and gets a goal. What a play.
Wow. That's what you want.
Watch.
Look at that. Yeah. Did Seabass hit that, or was that all Illusion? I think he might have.
I'll tell you after I see it again. I want to watch it one more time.
Sure. I mean, or...
No, Joro just popped it back up. I don't think Seabass got anything on that.
Okay. Got it. Well, really good play overall there from Seabass, just to be annoying and just get in the face of his opponents to allow Illusion to make that play happen. And 1-0 advantage, that's what they want. A little over a minute down here in this game number 2, where again, the dudes are up 1-0 in this best of 5. Winner moves on to play Equinox to play for a spot in Dreamhack Leipzig. The loser of this match will be out of the tournament. So a very important match for both these guys. For now, AXB over to Ralph. Great passing play. Oh my God, Joro with the perfect demo, but accidentally saving the shot. And that was certainly a goal. It still could be a goal, but Allegiance is scrambling right now to hold against this pressure. And finally, it goes in. I feel like it was inevitable.
It's like they're playing with their food, man. Oh my goodness. Just one after another, forcing these guys to fly all over the place. But kudos to keep it out for that long from Allegiance. Just had to put one in, eventually spread a little bit too thin. All tied up again. 3:12 on the clock.
Okay.
No.
Let's see. Illusion to the right. Ty Oh,
touched
that
it.
was
He
just a
got
pinch.
hit as
That was
well.
just it was a pinch play. A little bit of luck there. Calculated. The 50-50 was certainly calculated. He definitely intended that to go in a very quick direction towards the goal, and it just so happened to go to the perfect spot in the goal, leading to a 2-1 advantage here for Allegiance. Okay, look at that. Now we're seeing some nice aggression here from Allegiance, keeping it on that blue half. AXB with some nice plays. A great challenge there to win that 50-50 and actually picking up a boost. Can he do anything with this? It's AXB, so he probably can. See his teammates in the middle there trying to pass it over, but the angle a little bit off for Ralph and Joro. AXB taking it across the field there, but keeping it on that orange half. So the pressure certainly mounting here for the dudes trying to bring this back.
Yeah, really smart play by AXB. Recognized that his two teammates not in the right position. He's actually being contested by someone on defense. Decided to just carry it over and maintain possession for exactly that reason. Teammates are able to go get boost, able to come back in, and that pressure's still on the half. As a play inside and a shot all tied up again. Dudes with great infield pass play showing up.
That is exactly what you want. Joro, what a play there to flick that over to AXB, and AXB doing a great job anticipating that pass and being in the perfect spot to finish that off. Tying up the game, I should say, 2-2. And these guys are so evenly matched. I'm loving this right now. These guys are playing so close. And I feel like the dude's having a little bit more pressure during this game. But let's see. Yeah, and the shots actually reflect that. 7 shots to 4 in favor of the dudes, with AXB at the top of the scoreline. 4 shots for him. So the dude's doing a great job keeping that momentum going. But here comes Allegiance. Seabass hitting it off the side. Ty trying to make a play on that, but it's going the other direction. Joro trying to get a dunk on this. Not the best angle there. Seabass over to Ty. Great shot towards the goal, but Ralph is there, ready and waiting in the perfect spot in the goal to bring that back the other direction. Now we see Joro going up to Ralph, pitching it up. Illusion is there to hit it back the other direction. Ty trying to follow it up. Just barely misses a shot there, but sending it to the middle, and Seabass going to finish it off. Pretty interesting sequence of events there. Got super slow there, but Ty able to come up with that somehow. Ralph and Joro, a little bit of confusion between those guys trying to figure out who's going to go for it.
Yeah, that's what happens. Everybody rotating back towards their own net at the same time. It's why you go far post on the net. You have the ability to then challenge with a wider angle. And instead of everybody rotating back the exact same way, doesn't make it an opportune moment as Joro almost responding instantly. Just kidding, he does. Everybody helping each other out today, apparently.
Wow. That. Oh my God. What a laser, though. Just barely missing that top right corner. And I feel like Seabass thought that was going to go in anyway. But we got a tie game here, 3-3 with just about a minute remaining in this game. Again, the dudes are up 1-0 in this best of 5 on Allegiance. So it's up to Allegiance to really make something happen here to figure out how they can tie this aggression and this pressure into some scoring opportunities. And here we see the ball in the blue half. Ralph over to Joro. Joro with a great shot to the middle. AXB with a deflection. What a team play from the dudes. Who are these guys? And they're up 4-3 with 50 seconds left.
Great pass play altogether. Everybody being involved. It's a lot of reason why the guys do the fake kickoff. Get boost cleared up to one side of the field, misdirected back to the middle. And this way, a touch from AXB using the back end of his car. Back on top, another opportunity, but just going to fly right on by. Is Seabass able to dribble this one? Sees Illusion over to the right, and not the best hit as he throws it away. As this dude's team has been playing phenomenal so far on offense.
Yeah, all day
25 seconds left. Allegiance has a chance.
They're just clicking really nicely today. It's a pleasure to watch. Allegiance has to figure something out. Just barely missing on the right-hand side. They needed that. They really needed that. Only 10 seconds here to tie it up. Allegiance, the ball's on the blue side. Now is the best chance as any to make something happen. Seabass trying to contest it, floating it over to the middle. Is someone there from the dudes. AXB barely missing it, actually. And I think that's going to be it for this game. The ball should drop here. Ralph,
oh, no.
Barely missing it.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Okay. Allegiance.
Curse, that's your fault. That is no one else's fault but yours. You cursed it.
My bad, everyone. Well, that's exactly what you look for. Was that AXB up on the backboard? Or
No, that was Ralph.
Ralph just felt like he had it, but he completely missed it. And just like that, Allegiance able to tie it up. So here we go. 4-4 overtime. High scoring affair. Hey, you know, I'm usually the host too, so I just wanted to do that one day. You know, so I just wanted.
You know what it's like, man.
Yeah, I wanted it to have to happen eventually.
Way too often.
So there we go. Get it out of the...
Doesn't make any sense what happens, but it happens all the time. Hey, so this one thing and the opposite.
Next goal is going to take this game. Ralph pushing it over to the orange side. Illusion there on defense. Got to be a little bit careful with this. Going to play it slow, bringing it down to the ground. Very nice control. Staying on top of it. And Seabass actually barely missing it there. Ty trying to get an angle on this. Joro is there on defense. Still a threatening position by Allegiance. Illusion trying to pass to someone. Seabass just barely missing it. Going to go up the wall with it. But Joro is there hitting it toward the side of the goal. Ty able to barely get that and knock it the other way.
Good control by Ty, able to bring that down. Able to pop it back inside to get past that defender as they're now on offense. Good pass play back over to Seabass. Gonna have to get some boost and turn on this one immediately, but Jaro decides to do it himself.
Scary.
Yeah, popped up in a dangerous position. Seabass trying to go for the dribble, gets the dunk and plays it over. Decides to go and grab boost, doesn't go for any deny, no demos or bumps. As the ball settles into midfield.
Ooh,
good fake by Illusion, but the weird touch throws it back.
All right, Seabass actually doing a great job on defense. A lot of times he might be the only one with a significant amount of boost, but really able to maximize that boost and make those defensive plays when absolutely necessary. Another scoring opportunity there for the dudes. Ty is there, launching it up. Illusion going to carry that forward. Dro trying to get control of the ball here. He's facing off against two members of Allegiance on that left-hand side. He's going to hit it towards the middle, popping it up on accident. Probably XP going to try to extend the play and push it out of here. But no, the ball going right back towards the goal. Illusion in the perfect spot, and Allegiance able to take the victory in this game number 2 and tie up the series 1-1 after 2 minutes of overtime. Illusion doing a great job just flying up to that ball and placing it perfectly into the back of the net.
Talk about taking care of an opportunity. They had it. The dudes had that win, but that big mistake on defense allowed them to come back at 0 seconds and tie it up. And then for them to come through and get that win, that's absolutely huge for Allegiance.
Meanwhile, Joro with 7 shots. That's some playmaking right there. But not able to convert enough of them. There's literally too many shots to do the math. 14-11, I think, in favor of the dudes, but just not able to convert to a victory there. So we have a tie series 1-1, Allegiance versus the dudes. And that game was so incredibly back and forth. It definitely could have gone either way, especially how the end of regulation worked out. And then 2 minutes of overtime, which is amazing for our purposes.
Right.
We're tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. And I literally do not know who's going to win the series. I don't think there's a strong argument either direction.
Yeah, I know the Snowblazer thing, but in chat I saw a really good copy pasta, and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I love it. Real rude of them dudes to be fooling with their foods. Loved it. Needs more emotes though.
Okay. You know,
I'm
okay with that stuff. Just like not everyone has to type it out, right? That's not too much of a stretch, I don't think.
They don't type it out. They just copy and paste.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they're not really typing it.
We don't have to do the copy paste thing. We can just acknowledge the amazing comments for what they are. Maybe.
I appreciate it. All right.
We
went through all the effort to type with zeros and everything. Like, it was good. It was good.
We need scholarly, intelligent conversation. What? Look at that. Right out of the gates. Quick goal there from the dudes. Ralph. Not the easiest angle either. He had to fly across from the right-hand side of the map there and placed it really nicely into the back of the net.
Again, set up by Joro. Something he's been doing the entire time we've seen him on the stream today is those contests that lead to plays for his teammates. And again, there, he pinched that one up and went straight up, and then Ralph was just able to read it correctly. Had to make up for that little oops.
That's so tough. Like, they could be up 2-0 right now, you know, thinking about that.
Can't think about that though.
Yeah, they can't be preoccupied about that. One game at a time, reset button, come out of the gate strong. That's exactly what they did. 1-0 advantage. Joro trying to, well, got a piece of that ball. Ralph able to follow that through. AXB going over the left-hand side. Ty on defense, going to hit that right away. Joro, a great spot up on the wall, going to hit it right towards that orange goal. But Seabass is there, going to float it on towards blue. AXB meeting it in midfield, sending it back down. Illusion on the wall, a little bit awkwardly positioned. AXB going to take advantage off the backboard. Joro trying to be in the right place, right time. AXB is going to try to pass it back to Ralph, but he barely misses it. And now Illusion might have a chance. Going to try to chip it over to a teammate, but Ralph able to get there first and send it back the other way.
Super important, too, that he got that boost in that corner. As a doink back, trying to set up his teammate as he pops it up. He's going to dribble it instead. Ball centers in the midfield. Ty pre-jumps. Ends up being in the wrong position. Can't do anything with it as a pass play over the top. Should be a shot, but no. Illusion rotation able to get back in time as a minute and a half goes by.
Oh, that's good.
In this match as another shot. It is good. AXB gets the goal.
Just amazing pressure there. Once again, just we saw it there. We were on the view of Illusion. We saw him get knocked around. It's just a testament to the speed and the aggression that the dudes are showing. They are relentless right now. They don't care that they're up 1-0. They're not going to care that they're up 2-0. They're playing some incredibly fast Rocket League, and Allegiance has to make some adjustments here to deal with this.
Well, let's see what they can do. Still plenty of time left. Is the ball going to almost settle back down with the last second save, but immediately pushed back in. Ball pops up, trying to look for a clear here for Allegiance as it gets played in mid. Exactly what they're looking for. Downfield into the corner. Gives him some time. He gets the boost, but played inside and immediately back to the other side of the pitch. Really good misdirection coming out from the dudes to work the field.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of opportunities starting to arise for the dudes as they're playing confidently.
Yeah, and there's a moment there where AXB was able to take it across the field with like no boost whatsoever, but just kept extending the play. Seabass with a great angle towards the goal. Joro in the perfect spot. AXB trying to get it out of there straight up. I don't know if that's the best thing ever, but Ralph identifying that immediately and flying to the sky to push that over the left-hand side. Illusion saying, get out of here, Ralph. You're not allowed to be here. But Joro able to be there on defense, trying to redirect it towards the goal. Off the backboard, a miss from Illusion down to AXB. That could have been a shot on target, I think, but he sent it wide to the left. Now it's going the other direction. Ralph in a great spot on defense. AXB back to Ralph. He's going to launch it over to the orange side. Is anyone there? Yes, but no. Seabass, great defensive play, staying with that ball over to Ty. And Allegiance is going to hold on. But this pressure from the dudes, they are just keeping it up. So many shots on goal.
Yeah, doing a really good job of spreading this defense thin. And you can tell just by the amount of boost that they don't have. But all it takes is one clear like that. They're all able to boost back up and get in position. As the ball goes back down for the dudes. Pinches out to that last man back, but stopped by Seabass. An opportunity for Allegiance as he pushes that back down inside. Immediately, the shot cut off by Joro.
Allegiance trying to keep the ball on that blue side. Pressure's on them to make something happen. Only a minute and 20 seconds left to make up 2 goals. And with the way the defense has been for the dudes, something special has to happen. There's a shot on goal, but AXB there on defense. Illusion trying to keep it in on the blue side. Still some great defense from the dudes trying to get a scoring opportunity there. AXB trying to float it into the goal, but Illusion is there on defense. Seabass now going to send it forward over to Allegiance. He's going to slow it down a little bit, trying to chip it over AXB. Relatively successful, but Joro is there to bring it back towards the orange side. And Ralph in the perfect spot. What a save from Seabass. Blocking it against the top of the goal to somehow keep it out. But the dudes keeping up that pressure and continuing with these scoring opportunities. Allegiance has to figure out a way to turn this around because they only have 30 seconds left to get 2 goals.
Despite that save being great, still not enough. Those are the ones they need to bring back downfield and score on. But as the pressure's there, a shot could have happened. 2 players committing. AXB is able to be the one that comes away with it. 18 seconds left. Allegiance needs to score, but the dude's offense...
It's still on the orange side. And they're being confident, too. Look, all 3 of them are in that orange half.
Just not trying to give anything away. Just stopping in death in midfield before it even happens.
Yeah.
And the dude's now at match point.
Wow. I am, like, super impressed with this team.
Dude, they really want that. They want that rematch.
They played Equinox pretty closely overall. And then
It
we had a
was,
close series against
it was
Rogue.
like 3-1. But what was the scoreline? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, the games were close. There wasn't necessarily any blowouts. But that's like I'm just so impressed right now by Joro, AXB, and Ralph, regardless of how they end up doing in this lower bracket, pulling themselves to a 2-1 advantage, 6 shots to 3, 3 saves from Joro. He's been at the top of the scoreboard pretty much every single game, showing some really good defense, but also when they're able to get that pressure going, something about just keeping it on the other half, where they always have someone in the midfield just ready to prevent those clears from getting it over to their side. It's working for them. It's working really well. Now they have a 2-1 advantage, and on top of that, it feels like they're playing super quickly and with a lot of confidence. And I think that's really important, especially in such a tough situation. A lot of pressure involved in the lower bracket of Dreamhack
Right.
qualifier. It can be hard to be confident, especially when you're playing against these top teams. But I feel like they are playing with confidence, and they have a lot of trust with each other, especially with their passes and being at the right place at the right time. So really liking what I'm seeing from the dudes.
I just want to point out how Joro's at the top of the leaderboard, and he didn't score a goal. Means he's making a lot of touches, setting up his teammates a lot, making a ton of saves. Means you don't always have to ball chase.
This already starting off the pressure, just a few seconds in here. Seabass bringing it the other way. Joro slowing it down, picking up some boosts, trying to get a dunk going, but Ralph is going to be there just behind to send it back. Seabass on defense. AXB passing it over to Joro off the corner. Double tap it. Seabass is there, going to launch it back towards the blue side. Can he follow it up? Ralph to Joro. Great awareness from Joro, leaping up to hit that, and Ralph barely missing a scoring opportunity there. Seabass on defense. AXB back off the backboard. What's the boost situation, I wonder, for the orange side? This is very awkward indeed, but the pressure, once again, relentless from the dudes here in the first 60 seconds of game 4.
Nice thing, though, is if they are low on boost, they can do exactly that. Ty able to let that settle and then just pops it up really high. It forces the blue team to expend that boost themselves. It makes a difficult situation, but a breakdown on defense, to say the least. I actually didn't get to see what happened here.
Hey, everyone got bunched up, really. I mean,
2 guys on the wall. That probably not a good idea.
That's a super awkward place to be, and then on top of that, you're right next to your teammate. It's hard to kind of. It's not a recipe for success there. So, great job from Allegiance taking advantage of that defensive lapse from the dudes, and they have a 1-0 advantage.
2-0 advantage.
2-0 advantage. What a shot there from Ty, coming up off the wall. Let's see. Joro tried to clear it out, but Ty just reading that from the start, slamming that to the back of the net. AXB trying to get back on defense, but not quite on time. And Allegiance with a 2-0 advantage. Could this be the momentum they were looking for to bring this series back? Remember, they're down 2-1. This is a must-win situation here for Allegiance, and there is a 3rd goal. It's like 45 seconds. We've seen 3 goals from Allegiance. Illusion popping it up. Seabass cheating up, hitting that incredibly fast, and then a great play there to get past 2 of those players from the dudes. And now we have a 3-0 lead for Allegiance.
Yeah, really well played by Seabass. Great control. You saw the dudes go for a really good cheat up, but unfortunately the ball popped to the other side, so it worked in favor of Seabass. He's just able to use his boost to control it and get down first. Gets a touch on it and pushes it past that last defender, but starting to see the dudes, they want to respond quickly, try to stop that momentum. Is Ralph going to slow this down, go for a pass, gets an extra touch in. Great decision by Ralph there. You'll see it here as he contests this. Just takes his time with this. He goes up on the back wall, takes an extra tap to play it off the wall, then uses another one to get it out closer to his teammates. Really well done.
Yeah, just keeping your opponent guessing, just staying incredibly unpredictable. And sometimes it's all about that last little touch to throw your opponents off guard. It's exactly what happened there with the dudes. Still have a bit of a deficit to deal with here, down 2 with 3 minutes to go, but that's also plenty of time for them to make something happen. Ralph coming off the wall, challenging against Seabass. He's trying to bring it back the other side. AXB hitting it up to Joro. What a shot! Oh my god, how did that not go in? Just barely sneaking outside the goal on the right-hand side, and now Allegiance coming back the other way. Ty trying to get a shot towards AXB with a nice block. I think it was wide anyway, but just hitting it with authority to make sure that stayed out of the net. Joro staying on defense. Illusion trying to keep it on this blue side. Seabass should go up to try to get this towards the goal, but just barely missing high. I think a little bit of confusion with two members of Allegiance both going for that, but the orange team, Allegiance, keeping it on that blue side. AXB trying to bring it out, but Seabass is there. Can he convert this into a scoring opportunity? Hitting it off the right-hand side, trying to get another touch. No, going for the demo, but just barely missing. Nice defense from Ralph, and the dudes going the other way with it.
Allegiance needs to be careful, though. Definitely playing confident on the side. Seabass especially cutting rotations and actually double committing on a couple of these shots because they can afford to get away with them currently, as it does apply a lot of pressure. But all it takes is one of those mistakes and a good clear. And the dudes could come back within one, as there's still a lot of time on the clock, just passing 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is Illusion able to play that down inside? A big clear up to Ralph, see if he can get in touch. No, he does.
Nice.
And over to Joro.
Good work.
Third man to follow up. No, easy save by Illusion.
Keeping it over there, though, and Joro putting it in the middle of the goal once again. These opportunities are there. They're keeping that pressure up. You know, it's easy to be like, hey, you know, it's easy to fall into a comfort zone, but they understand the urgency here. You know, down 1-3 with 90 seconds left. Really trying to make these scoring opportunities happen. Joro with an opportunity. Hitting it over to the middle. Is anyone there to greet it? Two players from Allegiance going to smash that back towards the blue side. And a miss from Joro. And that could be costly. AXB trying to sprint back, but Seabass not going to let that mistake go through. And he's going to score just a complete whiff there from Joro. And that's going to lead to a goal from Allegiance, bringing their lead to 3. They're up 4-1. In a must-win situation for Allegiance. They've got to be feeling good.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes coming out there. You saw even Joro, when he made that clear up field, it was a good one, high and lofted, but needed to play that a little bit more over to the right. It was too centralized, made it easy for the contest. Even with the double commit, it's not going to matter as these guys really starting to run away with it if the mistakes keep happening on defense. Clean air dribble, though.
Yeah, that was super fancy. You know, experience has got to come in here. You've got to imagine how many times Allegiance has been down in a series and they've had to kind of come together, talk it out, be like, hey guys, let's figure this out. We can do this. We're a good team. Maybe we're seeing that a little bit. Certainly showing some awesome Rocket League play here in this game number 4, in this must-win situation. Sometimes that's what it takes for teams to really start surging, is just to be in those must-win situations and really start having some great performances. But we see the dudes trying to bring it back a little bit. I don't expect them, again, here I am saying these things again. I don't expect them to close this gap, but any goal right now, it's got to be great for their confidence going into a potential Game 5.
Well, I mean, this is a great way for them to test stuff out. Obviously, it's an uphill climb and then some. But what AXB did there is, rather than going for this quick, direct approach for these passes, he took a solo play into account, slowed it down, went for a dribble, got past the defender, and then forced an opportunity. If they can start working those things in and really mix up their gameplay, it could be a difference maker, because that's what it's been. This Allegiance team has done a really good job of shutting down these pass plays that were allowing the dudes team to propel themselves to leads. Oh.
I think these guys more or less, they understand it's more or less garbage time right now, going for some pretty crazy fancy plays. But yeah, I think this is all going to be mentality and communication going into this Game 5. We're going to have a tie series. It's going to be 2-2, and this last game is going to decide who's going to be advancing on in the bracket and who is going to be out of the North American Dreamhack Qualifier. Allegiance taking down game number 4, tying up the series 2-2. We are going to a Game 5. I love
it. Exactly like we said at the beginning. Said it was going to be another Game 5 most likely. Didn't know who was going to take it. The dudes came in with a bunch of momentum. Same thing with Allegiance. Came in with a 3-0, and it was dominant performance from the dudes at the start. Lots of offense, tons of pressure. Even though the pace of the game definitely was slowed down a bit, but it feels like that's completely flipped. Allegiance seems to be dominating the pitch quite a bit. They're playing a lot more controlled. They're playing a lot more, I guess, urgent to the ball. Yeah. And it's overwhelming the dudes. You saw it a lot there, just big mistakes that are being forced because these guys understand the situation they're in. And that's the benefit of the veterans. We've said it plenty of times. These guys know what it's like to play under pressure. They understand the situation of the mental game, and they're just dominating that side. As for dudes, they just got to step it up. They got to force something. But to credit to Allegiance, they're not making it easy.
Yeah, I feel like certainly there was a moment there in that game. Maybe it was between games before this one, after the last one, where they're like, all right, guys, you know, we're down 2-1. This is it. And we see that happen a lot with some teams, especially in RLCS, like Flipside, for example. It takes a little bit. It takes them to be on the ropes to really come out and show exactly what they're capable of. So maybe we were seeing a little bit of that. Allegiance putting everything out there, everything on the line. But now it all comes down to this, as they say. Game 5 in this best of 5. The winner of this game will advance on to play Equinox in the lower bracket final. And the winner of that will get a spot at Dreamhack Leipzig. But the loser of this game will be out of the qualifiers. And the dudes starting off incredibly strong. We've seen them do this a lot out of the gates, getting the scoring opportunities. AXB getting that last touch towards the middle, and Joro able to follow that through. An early 1-0 advantage for the dudes.
Yeah, just unfortunate for Ty. He was up on that back wall, needed to clear it immediately, but didn't get the touch he was looking for to pop it off the wall, because it gave the dudes a little bit extra time to get in position to make a read. Joe just puts himself in the way, and it works out. But an opportunity here for Allegiance. This shot doesn't go in, popped up again. AXB there to meet it. Doesn't have any boost, though, so he's going to have to back off. Seabass trying to read this off that back wall. Super close.
It's such a hard read. But he almost did it.
Yeah, Illusion actually showing off some mechanics, too. Going up to that ceiling to get that jump reset to propel himself back down. Saves a lot of boost by doing that.
And the ball's just staying right in front of the goal there for a good 5 seconds, which is a really long time in Rocket League terms. But the dude's able to keep it out of there. Allegiance on defense. Ty coming down again from the sky to try to push that the other direction. Joro in a good position. AXB trying to get a last little tap there to knock it in. Try to send it back towards the middle, but Ty is there, bringing it back the other way. Ralph in a great position, blocking that progress. Seabass, nice on defense. AXB trying to pass it to the middle, but Illusion is there. He's going to lift it back over to the middle. No boost for him, but he's going to try to pass it on over. That's a great hit from Seabass. Ty trying to follow this up with a score. Can a backflip happen? No. AXB there on the backboard to try to return that the other way. Not the best connect, but Joro is there. And Illusion and Seabass both going up for that 3 versus 1 situation. Actually, 3 versus 0. Yeah, that's going to be a goal.
Really good decision by Ralph here. Look at the patience that he takes on this. XP plays it off the backboard and he just waits. He shadows it. He's facing the opposite way, so if there is a clear, he can go and make that challenge, but then also has the ability to, if there is a mistake, the ability to immediately turn on and put a shot on net. Really well done by Ralph.
The dude's coming out so strong here in this game 5. They can
Joro,
feel it, they can smell it. Joro's trying to be fancy, almost making it work, but I think he was a little bit too slow for that to have a realistic chance. Nice defense there from Allegiance to keep that out of there. Now Lucian coming off the right-hand side. They have to make something happen right now. And they have some time, but they don't want to flirt with it. They want this to turn into what happened last game and try to get a very comfortable lead. But right now, it's all about the dudes. 2 scores early on, keeping that pressure up. We'll have to see how Allegiance can adjust here to try to bring it back the other way. Joro off the backboard, passing it over to Ralph. Seabass there. Allegiance playing pretty forward here with all members of the team, really trying to keep it on that blue side. Illusion misreading that a little bit. Ty gonna bring it back up to the ceiling, trying to get a pass on over. Oh my God, Ty! I don't even know what happened there. Did he get pushed into that by? I gotta watch this again.
Ceiling
shot. Had the shot, but he also got helped by Illusion.
Nice pull shot.
The ultimate team play.
Good setup. Well done.
Oh man.
Still, the ability to control that off the wall like that.
Yeah. Like, he had that, I think. Like, what an idea from him. Illusion just helped him out a little bit, make that shot a little bit faster. Now Illusion going up, sending it right down. Seabass trying to get the right angle. Uh-oh. Both, I think every member of Allegiance pretty much went for that, which made them out of position, but the ball slowing down and going the other way. Illusion able to get back control, trying to keep it in the air. Ralph in a great spot, sending it right back into the goal. 3-1 advantage for the
Great response after that goal, too. You can tell Allegiance starting to play a little bit more confident, but that ball gets away from Illusion as he's trying to clear it off. Ralph just there again, just staying patient, waiting for his opportunity, and then striking with no hesitation.
Yeah, he's getting those reads up on the side. I think we've seen a few of those from him. Oh, and just like that, Illusion's like, you know what, guys? Game 5, we got to keep it. We got to keep it within reach. Off the kickoff, Ty able to send it to the sky there, and Illusion playing incredibly close onto that kickoff, getting up incredibly fast to put that in the back of the net, bringing this game to a 3-2 advantage for the dudes with a little over halfway down in time.
Ball going to drop down in front. He's trying to get a goal immediately off. But finally, some defense.
Whoa.
Maybe. I don't know anymore. Okay, we have a clear.
There's a few bumps here and there.
And a missed shot. All right, we got a couple seconds to breathe till one of these guys score again. As Joro, we're going to pretend that was an important fake.
Back to back, yep.
And totally meant to do that. Super nice fake.
All the time. Illusion tried to clear it out. Ralph, again, he loves that spot on the side up there, up on the side on his opponent's half, trying to keep it in threatening, keep that threat going onto that goal. AXB trying to send it the other way. Great 50-50 challenge. Seabass trying to keep this under control, but doesn't have control. Ty doing a great job pushing that out. He's going to try to bring it back to the other side. He's going to try to pass it to the middle, maybe, but Joro is there. Over to Ralph. Seabass in an awkward spot that almost went in. AXB going to follow it up into the goal. That's a 4-2 advantage for the dudes. All of that set up by Ralph, actually. Getting that threatening shot, Seabass trying to clear it out, but AXB following that ball incredibly quickly, able to get that rebound. Only a minute and 15 seconds left for Allegiance.
Back when it was down on Allegiance side, too. That initial save, Ty had to expend a lot of boost to force that ball out. He had his teammate as well coming in for a demo from behind. And that's what forced AXB to take that shot a little bit too early. Because of that, a lot of people committed to it. And then a quick counterattack. When it came back, they weren't ready for it. They didn't have the boost to go up for it. And it works out. But you're seeing AXB go for these a lot. A lot more solo plays as he's trying to do the nasty. Does not happen.
And look, they're playing so aggressive still. They have so much confidence. They don't care if they're up 2-0. If they're up 2, they want more goals. And that's exactly what's happening. 5-2 the advantage for the dudes. Who would have expected it? Taking out Rogue. And now on the verge of knocking out Allegiance from the tournament. 44 seconds, 3 goals. I think it's happened before, but a great position to be in for the dudes.
Still those quick touches, one after another to get past. The dudes are looking strong, but there is glimpses of hope from both teams, but a way to work it. Wow. That field one side of the other very quick. Look at the power on that shot. Bang. And the placement too. Bottom left, absolutely perfect.
Not even a question here. I mean, it could have been a game that went to overtime, low scoring. But the dudes, they're like, no, we just want to win this. Showing so much confidence in their play and so much trust in each other, honestly, with all these passing plays. And they have a 4-goal advantage on an incredible team in Allegiance. I can't wait to see this team into the future. And guess what? We're going to see them in the next round because they're going to go up against Equinox. What a series, what a day from the dudes. Allegiance coming into this series having swept in their last match. Might get another goal just to bring it back a little bit, but nowhere near enough. And how about the dudes? They're going to be advancing to the lower bracket final to face off against Equinox. Do not underestimate this team.
No, I mean, let's talk about that, though. So the Equinox was the first team. They've had 3-1 over the dudes and dropped them down into the loser quarterfinal, where they ended up playing against Rogue. 3-2 in that match, 3-2 in this match, and now they're going back for a rematch. And it makes you wonder, is Equinox going to come in a little bit cold because they've been sitting and having to wait for, 3 matches? Or is the pressure of the dudes going to, kind of dwindle? Like, what way is it going to work out? Chrome and the guys have been sitting in chat watching these games. So maybe they're taking something from it. Maybe they just don't care. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see how the rematch goes.
We talk about it a lot in tournament play, especially really condensed tournaments over a long period of time. Fatigue comes into play. Momentum comes into play. Having game after game after game comes into play. Certainly something we have to consider going into this match. That's 10 games in a row, basically, that we've seen on stream from the dudes, where they're just playing nonstop Rocket League, getting their synergy down, and they're playing well, especially that last game. That margin that they were able to accumulate on that victory, it's got to be great for their momentum coming into this last match. So for those of you who are like, you know what, Equinox has got this. Who are the dudes? Who are these guys? Not underestimate them, because we could have a series on our hands. We're going to take a short break here from twitch.tv/Axeltoss. Hello to everyone in the chat. You all look wonderful.
Never fails.
You gotta give some love to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoy the stream, feel free to follow. That can be an easy way to support the stream. But having a ton of fun here commentating the Dreamhack qualifiers for North America. Jorby was here earlier. Huge thanks to Lawler for hopping on and
Thank you for
helping me
having me, man.
covering. Yeah, thanks for helping us cover these matches. And we got one match to go, so we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back with the lower bracket final. It's a best of 5 to determine who's gonna get that last spot into Dreamhack Leipzig from the North America region. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.